It is official, and it probably has been for a couple minutes, but the check mark means our decision desk has called the South Carolina Democratic primary for the incumbent president, Joe Biden. NBC News is projecting that he will win the South Carolina Democratic primary. You probably don't need me to tell you that with numbers like this, but again, about 6% in statewide. You just see we will continue to get counties like this on the board, and we'll, I think at this point it's just a question of margin. It's a question of what you can read into turnout, if you can read anything at all. The numbers tell the story, Eamon.
All right, our thanks to Steve Kornacki for that. And as we just said there, Joe Biden, the president, the incumbent president, is the projected winner of the Democratic primary in South Carolina. Steve, we'll touch base with you in a little.
Back now with a Fox News alert. A winner is in for the Democratic presidential primary. John Scott is in the newsroom to break down the results. John?
Hi, Molly. Yeah, we just got the numbers in, and perhaps to nobody's surprise, the sitting president, Joseph Biden, former senator from the state of Delaware and former vice president, wins the South Carolina primary. It is the primary that 4 years ago, well, his campaign was sort of moribund until he won South Carolina with the endorsement of Congressman Clyburn. This time he won again with 97% of the vote. Marianne Williamson comes in second with 1.7%, and Minnesota Congressman Dean Phillips with 1.3%. So a runaway victory for the sitting president tonight in South Carolina. Whether it propels his campaign forward like it did 4 years ago, that's yet to be seen. Molly, back to you.
Thanks, John.
Good evening. We have a major commitment 2024 update right now.
President Joe Biden has been declared the winner of the 2024 South Carolina Democratic presidential primary. Results are still coming in, but the AP has called the race. This is the first official Democratic presidential primary of the election season. President Biden is running for a second term. Congressman Dean Phillips and author Marianne Williamson are challenging him for the nomination. The vote count, of course, is still happening.
This is the first set of delegates President Biden is picking up. On the Democratic side, there are 55 delegates up for grabs in South Carolina. According to the Associated Press, a candidate must get 15% of the vote to qualify for any amount of South Carolina's delegates. So the total number President Biden will pick up is still being counted. Nevada is the next state to vote in the primary season. Democrats in Nevada vote Tuesday. Republicans will caucus on Thursday.
Again, President Joe Biden declared the winner of the South Carolina Democratic presidential primary. We now send you back to regularly scheduled programming.
Breaking news at this hour, South Carolina primary 2024 goes to President Joe Biden. As you can see right now, still very few precincts closing out their books with reporting, but the polls close at 7 o'clock tonight, and the Associated Press has now called the race for Joe Biden. Not very surprising to political pundits, I should say, or even to the Biden campaign, as they expected to easily defeat author Marianne Williamson and Representative Dean Phillips. And as you can see for yourself, the blue that you see across this map indicates that all of the polls in all of these counties are closed. We've got a few numbers coming in. Let's click over on Horry County. Well, that's not one of the counties that is reporting just yet, but we know over in Dillon County, you can see how these numbers start to break down. 183 votes for the president, 7 for Phillips, 2 for Williamson. Again, very, very early numbers. We looked just a few minutes ago across the 11 counties that we cover here in the Midlands, and we didn't see any numbers from the big counties, so nothing out of Lexington yet. Richland County, we do see nearly 6,100 votes for the president in Richland County. Marianne Williamson with 1.2% of the vote. Dean Phillips with 1.1%. Some political experts said that they would be surprised if the president did not end this night with 95% of the vote. So let's see if we've got anything coming in yet from Sumter County. Nothing from Sumter County yet. Calhoun County still nothing, and down in Orangeburg County, where the vice president was just there yesterday at South Carolina State University encouraging the get out the vote for the students. And so it looks like the campaign to get out the vote has been successful for those who were supporting President Biden here in South Carolina. We know that the vice president made 3 trips to South Carolina within 3 weeks. And so with that being said, tonight is good night for Joe Biden. Our eyes look forward now to what happens with the Republican primary in just a few.
Some news to break for you right now. We are getting a call from the Associated Press saying that Biden has won the South Carolina Democratic primary. This does not come as a surprise. As we were watching before the commercial break, Biden had a very, very healthy lead over his competition. Let's pull up what we have so far. Biden coming in 97% of the votes so far. I want to mention on the top corner of your screen, the top right corner of your screen, only 6% of the results have been tallied so far. And as you can see by the numbers on your screen, the Associated Press feeling very confident and comfortable enough to call this one in Biden's favor. Again, this is not a surprise. We have been expecting a very short night in South Carolina today.